Okay, so I couldn't do that. So change of plans. We'll have to think something else. The next story is about the color purple. A lot of people do not know me, but the people who know me, they have this statement for me that I am obsessed with the color purple and blue. Why is that? Now, some of them has gotten the real answer. Some of them never got an answer. They just got a smile. So now, finally, I'm coming out of the box and letting people know what's the story behind the color purple. My grandfather, he died early on, but luckily I got some time with him. I generally say this thing, a statement which I quote is forever in numbered days. I was 1.52 years old, and he had this habit of eating pan. So whenever he would order pan, like he would ask the helpers to get pan for him, he would also ask them to get me a Cadbury. Now this I'm talking about 1987, 1998 wala launch era. Now in those times, Cadbury Dairy Milk was a huge deal. I mean, the 90s kid will resonate with it. What happened was that my mother, she had told him strictly that he shouldn't be giving me chocolates. But since he knew that I loved the chocolate, of course, so then he would get me one. Now, whenever she was not around and I would go and meet him in his room, he used to generally be like, he used to be sick at times. I have heard stories like that. I was small, but I used to give him medicines. So I was like, my journey started, like my pharmacist journey started since I was 1.52 years old. So I had decided that I'll wear this earring. Maybe it was so sweet. Let's see. Coming back to the story, when I used to go to his room, he would tell me Panchatantra stories. So for people who don't know what's Panchatantra is, so these are moral stories, some moral ending to the story. Okay, so that's how it used to start. That he would tell me stories, and then he would ask me questions. That what did I learn from the story? I would say certain things, and he would be like, "तुम तो बड़ी सयानी हो, तुम तो बड़ी सयानी हो," meaning in English that you are very wise. And then he would just give me the tea milk. Now I started associating the color with him, and when he died, I actually left. Like I used to have chocolates, but I used to not have dairy milk for the longest time. I used to have Five Star Kit Kat and whatnot. And then there was this one time, I think I was in Assam, and my father, he had given me and some of my friends and his students to paint something. Apparently, he was understanding the color which we were painting from the paint, like the painting which we were painting. So the colors we were using would signify something or the other. Intentionally or unintentionally, I think I used purple in the painting more. And then he ended up saying that, like, he was relating it with some magazine that was showing what the colors will have. He ended up telling me that the color says that I am depressed. Now, for the longest time after that, I think I was 7 or 8 years old that time, and for the longest time after that, I didn't touch the color purple. In fact, I started hating it. I consciously started to repel it. And it was everywhere for me. I remember once I opened my mother's cupboard and I saw a sari, purple sari. And then I was like, why do you have that? And apparently that was a sari that, like, it was my grandmother's sari and not my mother's sari. So for at times I used to get really irritated with the color. Then until I started my heating journey, I think it was in 2015, 2016. That's when I realized that I love the color purple. In fact, I am the color purple. And I couldn't let go of the feeling of safety and connection. Like whenever I see the color purple, it just fills me up with a lot of love. And that's how it started, my obsession with the color purple and blue. So basically, the Cadbury wrapper is the color of Pantone. That is the purple, blue, and pink mix. So now, whenever I do certain things, I have made it a signature thing of mine that I generally use purple, blue, and pink at times, or the mixture or the combination of those turquoise blue shades me and purple shades me like violet ones. And I generally try to embrace the color as much as I can. I actually feel very good with it. I feel very safe. I feel connected. I feel loved. And I feel that somehow like I'm being protected. And I think for the longest time, when I used to close my eyes, I used to feel that there is purple colors surrounding me. And I could not, I couldn't understand why was that. But now I feel that maybe that's the energy or aura I carry. And yeah, that's another story. And again, the reason I started these stories because I wanted to talk about my family, to tell people that where I come from. So I already talked about my dadi and I already talked about my dadaji. Now I will talk about something about my parents, my sibling. You can already see them lying there. And yes, thank you for hearing me out.